Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Monday, March 3rd, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to catch you up on a sell signal that played out 2 weeks ago when we settled for the first time below the 340.838 Fibonacci in combination with the 345.53 two-year channel top. Now, that 340.80 is based on the January 23 low against that more recent high from last December. So on the way down, we closed below that. And at the same time, the same week, we also settled back below the 345.53 two-year channel top, which is a structure we settled above 2 or 3 months earlier, then anticipating 507.99, which we came close to reaching, but not quite, and cascaded back. And cascading is the right word for what's playing out in Tesla. The next target is 253.88, and that's been in play since we closed 2 weeks ago below 340.80. And last week we got, 80% of the way there. On the way down to 253.88, there is this channel bottom at 277.57, which has been roughly containing selling pressures pretty well late last week. There's been a little bit of slop. On Friday we opened just below it, but not by a wide degree. And obviously we closed the day above 277.57. And as long as we're holding 277.57, you should allow for upward retracement over the next couple of weeks back into the low to mid 340s. Now, I'm not expecting as much, but I will say that even though it's only an intraday resistance level at 301.13, a sellable resistance level for day traders, but if we close above 301.13, I think that adds support to that notion that we can push into the low to mid 340s, let's say under that scenario, by the end of next week. On the way up, of course, we have that earlier February low of 325.10 that can contain daily buying pressures. But I think that just closing above 301.13 is your likely indication for the low to mid 340s by the end of next week or sooner. There is also the 277.57 channel bottom has its sister formation channel top at 367.65. And I don't mean to throw in a bunch of numbers here, but this is important in that over the next week or two, if we do test the low to mid 340s, over the next week or two, this descending channel top at 367.65 is dropping into and converging with the low to mid 340s. So this is going to be an important test. This area, I'm just going to call it a range right now, 340.80 up to 367.65, narrowing on a daily basis to a single point over the next couple of weeks, can absorb buying through the month of March, and from here we can fall back to the 253.88 target still within a matter of 2 to 3 weeks or so. So that's another way of me saying that if over the next week, 2 or 3, we push into the low to mid 340s, it is still a sellable zone of resistance that can contain buying through March, and from here we can fall back to 253.88 within 2 to 3 weeks of doing so. And that remains the dynamic. 253.88, by the way, is likely to be tested this week if we were to close today, Monday, below 277.57. Now, there is a possible scenario where if we happen to clearly open Monday below 277.57, and that does not look likely right now, but if so, we could, under that scenario, with present volatility, test 253.88 today. But I'll also mention that there is another channel support that we've been showing you for the last week at 268.06. So once again, I think the likelier scenario, if the market were to sell off today, breaking 277.57, signals 268.06. From here we could bounce, and if as long as we close the day above 277.57, that will keep open the possibility for recovery over the next few weeks into this 340.80 to 367.65 narrowing range of meaningful resistance. But, closing, though, today below 277.57 does set up our targeted 253.88 as a 1 to 3 day objective. 253.88 is a 2-year channel structure, and it stems off that January 23 low. The high that was put out, I think this is a July high of 23 against that recent December high from last year and the intermediate low from early 24. 253.88, solid support, able to contain selling. This is where the big sell-off can end. You've got this church steeple rally, I like to call them. You've got symmetry on both sides, and that really ends at 253.88. That's not to say that we won't then continue south and close below 253.88. But if there's an area to buy into, not only for the month of March, but through the entire second quarter and possibly into later year, it is 253.88. Buying 253.88, you can do so obviously if you've been short to cover that short position, but you can also reverse and go long back into the low to mid 340s within 3 to 5 weeks or less, and perhaps onward and upward into, well, I don't know about 507.99. That is certainly possible later in the year. And yes, if we were to close any week above 345.53, that heightens it. But I'm not expecting a V-shaped rally out of this. This church steeple, this hyperbolic move, and giving it all back, this really takes a lot of momentum out of the market, and it really needs to re-earn that momentum. What would likely happen then is a consolidated framework that could play out as we move into April and May, and then the market tipped its hand to the upside and can regain lost steam. So we'll just see how that all plays out. Once again, if we close today below 277.57, our objective at 253.88 is likely to be tested, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, where all profits can be taken on short positions and long entry as we move through March and into the later second quarter. I will say, and I've been saying this now for the last week or so, that were we to close this week below 253.88, that yes, the meltdown continues, and this could be quick. I mean, we've got this expanded volatility, expanded average daily range here for the last week. If this market falls apart, closes Friday below 253.88, this could be a 3 to 5 week move, perhaps into the low to upper 150s. This 153.14 to 159.24 area is really the last significant channel structure you can draw for the Tesla chart, because Tesla is not a long-standing stock. It goes back into the 2010s. But this is really the last big picture support. And it is one, by the way, that can contain annual lows. This could be a multi-year low in the low to upper 150s. And it does become, at this stage, with this kind of volatility, a 3 to 5 week target if we close below 253.88. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. We've got recent stock picks we put out over the last 2 weeks in Alibaba, Eli Lilly, Palantir, Fudu Holdings, et cetera, et cetera. If you go to wickedstocks.com, you can take advantage of that 5-day free trial, see all the stock picks, all the two new ones that are coming up this week, Daily SPY, Daily Triple Q, a weekly Apple stock, et cetera, et cetera. So go to wickedstocks.com and take advantage of our 5-day free trial. I'm going to leave it at that. I will be back, of course, tomorrow with Tuesday's Tesla report. You have a great day.